Hi everyone, Pat Settle with HVT coming to you with an explanation video on some of the Lionel tooling that's been used on rolling stock over the last 30 or 40 years. I recently received a comment on our YouTube channel, somebody specifically asking about the difference between all the tooling that Lionel has used on the rolling stock and why it is important to upgrade to the newest tooling. There are a few examples that I'm going to use. Some have the older tooling, and I have one that was rebuilt with the newer tooling 5 years ago. This is all out of my personal collection. So we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. As you can see here, this is the Schlitz reefer that was made by Lionel, I want to say in the early 70s. And they're really cool reefers to collect, and I love collecting old names. As you see here, plastic shell and everything. On the bottom, it is a different story. This is a split frame. As you can see, the frame splits in the middle, and it's held by one Phillips head screw. And as you can see, the tooling on this car are two plastic pins, which they're called truck pins. And plastic construction on the couplers with the little tab that just opens the couplers. And you're probably thinking, was this a good tooling for Lionel? You see that it isn't. As you can see, look how the truck moves. This is called excessive slop, or in this case, too much play in between where the truck makes contact with the chassis and also the shell. So every time the train moves, that truck is moving with it, and that pin that you see on the bottom loves to give. So that's why this tooling needs to be, replaced with the 6-140/78 trucks. This was back in the 70s. Now here's a caboose, the Crayola caboose from my childhood, that was built in the mid-1990s. As you can see, it has the metal rivets, as you see here. A vast improvement from the early 70s. And as you can see, not as much play between the chassis and also the bottom of the truck. There's very, very little give. You can replace the wheels on this car, but you cannot replace the truck frame. So what if that truck frame breaks in half, gets crushed, stomped on? Then the car is no good. So drill out the rivets and put the 6-140/78 trucks on that car. That's a simple way to fix it. But now we come to the Lipton T-Box car. As you see here, this is a car that was built in the early 80s by Lionel that did have the rivet tooling at one point. And the tooling on these reefers, same style as the Schlitz and the Tropicana car, but this one has two body mount screws, one on each end, that you unscrew and the shell comes apart where you access the interior of the car. But as you can see, not as much play in between the bottom of the truck and the actual car body itself. The wheels, a lot thicker, and it is up to spec. Metal couplers now, which is a big plus, and even the tab right there on the side, a whole lot better than what it was. And this is a vast improvement from over the last 20 or 25 years. Pops open just like that, good as new. And that is all die-cast metal trucks and the die-cast metal springs right there in the bottom. So some people have asked, should I keep the older tooling? Should I upgrade? The answer is you should upgrade your tooling because rivets tend to rust since they are metal, especially if the car has been sitting in a garage, a shed, an uncontrolled climate temperature room. So you want to look at your rolling stock very, very carefully to make sure that there's no rust, no corrosion, nothing. And even at the club, there was a car that had corrosion on the rivets. And you don't know what corrosion will do to the metal on the inside. So it was safe to pull out the rivets and put brand new tooling on it, and that car is still running at the club. But on the bottom of these cars, as you can see, you know, as mentioned before, check your wheels. If they seem to be wobbly, take them off and replace with new. It's better to replace with new parts than take a chance with something that's old that may tend to have a problem down the road. But as far as the bottom of this car, you can spray paint the split chassis, and you can touch up the paint on that screw there to make it look nice as part of your rebuild if you decide to go with these. I will be doing a full rebuild, not only on this car, but also with one of our cars at the club that I'll be rebuilding as well. This one's a really simple rebuild. I will also put this video on my personal channel, and I'll put the Tropicana one on our YouTube channel. But these are a few cars out of my collection that have older tooling, and the newer tooling to show you the difference in between the style of truck and even how Lionel redesigned a bunch of stuff. And you can see the plastic, I've mentioned before, if the plastic is warped, which we've had a case of it before, where the truck will no longer support the wheel, that truck has to come off. And on the Schlitz car, another thing you can look at when you're rebuilding these cars, look at the edge of the wheels very closely, because sometimes you will see a rough edge. There's one he's got a rough edge on it. Here it is. Let me just pull it out for a second, and I'll show you something that I found. One thing to inspect on your rolling stock, the edges of your wheels, and you can see this inner edge is chipped, and it is also very, very worn. That is not a good sign. That tells that this car has seen the rails quite a bit. And I'm just going to put that back in the truck for a minute. And the shaves of metal that go all over the place, that wear down these wheels, one thing I will tell you, that if you see some metal shavings around somewhere on your track, be very careful, because metal shavings will cause a short. That's another safety thing that I will put in this video. So, as mentioned, the plastic pins, not the best tooling. As you can see, lots of give. The rivets, 80s and 90s, very little give. And the construction of the newer tooling, you will have a little bit of play in the trucks where they can pivot, but it should not be a lot of excessive slop that's shifting. But this here, these are the tooling. This is the tooling that's out now. These are really good parts to get. And as mentioned, you can get the parts from any licensed Lionel dealer. They're very simple to install, and you will be seeing more updates on the cars that we are rebuilding at the club. But I thought I would show this off as part of my personal collection on the different tooling on some of the rolling stock, like reefers and cabooses that are not lighted, box cars, and even gondolas, for example. So pay attention to the tooling, because it will tell you when and around the car was manufactured. So, like I mentioned, they're fun to rebuild, and they're fun to run around the layout. So, I hope this cleared up some understanding on the different tooling differences. So, if you have any further questions, please leave comments in the description below. I am willing to look at your questions and kind of answer some questions that you may have while you're rebuilding cars or just running your trains. But anyway, I hope this video was of some helpfulness, and please subscribe to us, like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And also, please remember to look at our Facebook page, Heritage Village Trains, where a lot of updates on our major events are posted there. And also, our video links are posted from the YouTube channel. So please come on out and support our YouTube channel and also our Facebook page. Our YouTube channel is quickly growing, so thank you all for showing us great support and also the wonderful comments that we have received. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you next time.